And welcome to part 2 of Hidden Horrors You Must Hear's Top 13 Horror Films of 2018. As again, this is part 2, folks, and this is James J. Coker speaking. Part 2, we are going to be talking about, me and Sterling will be talking about our top 5 horror films of 2018, along with some honorable mentions and some horror movies that greatly disappointed us this year and our worst horror movies of the year. Don't worry, it's only one of them, though, for each person. Also, we have some shout-outs and some recommendations as well, so I hope you all have a notepad or a type of an app on your phone to jot down some of these really cool but also obscure titles that you're about to hear in this upcoming part of the podcast. I hope you all enjoy, and don't forget to look us up online whenever you can. So, are we on to my 5? So, yeah. Holy shit, guys, this is much different than the last year's podcast. Guess what? We are already on to our 5. We're on to the top 5, Sterling. So these are like the cream of the crop of the year.
Yes.
So my 5 shouldn't be no surprise because this movie performed like fucking gangbusters at the box office. And this is a movie...
Who invented the gangbusters thing?
I don't know, but I love that word.
What is gangbusters?
I don't know, but I love that word.
I'm going to have to look that up later.
Okay, but anyway.
Okay.
This is a movie every horror fan has been waiting for since 2009. And then the way that when they announced that this company bought the rights, and we're doing it, we were waiting 2 years for it, and it did not disappoint. That is Halloween.
Halloween. Happy.
Yes, happy. Okay, but anyways, Halloween was a big fucking surprise. I was expecting it to be a much better than the Rob Zombie films and the Busta Rhymes one, because honestly, the bar for a Michael Myers movie to be good was pretty already fucking low with the last 3 Halloween films, but I didn't expect it to be that good. I was like, wow, not only is the shots reminiscent of the original John Carpenter film, it adds so much more depth to the character of Laurie. Michael Myers is genuinely scary and extremely brutal with his kill scenes. That took me aback. I was like, whoa, yes, say something, Michael Blatt. I was like, whoa, Michael, damn. So, also... yeah, they made Michael Myers fucking terrifying again. And I was like, holy shit, the boogeyman is back. Not only that, like, the music from both John Carpenter and his son kill it. It adds so much more terror and tension to the Michael Myers fear. And plus, what I loved most, there were 2 things I loved most about this film. One, I loved how Laurie Strode is this psychologically damaged badass, where she's not this Wonder Woman and she's had her problems because of what Michael Myers did to her. And it has this message about, again, like I've said with the other films, letting a past trauma take control of your life. It has that semi-message to it. I wish it'd delve into that a little bit more, but that's just me. And I also loved how Michael Myers isn't the brother this time. He's just a boogeyman killing people on Halloween night. And I was like, he's scary again. Like, when he first goes into the neighborhood and he has the mask, the first thing he does, he just kills a couple random moms. That's it. And it's all like, he's not after Laurie. He's just doing what he does. And that makes him scary again. It's only when Laurie confronts him that he's just like, oh yeah, that bitch. I might as well finish what I started. So, yeah, fucking everybody did a great job. It takes some twists near the end. Also, Sterling, since you saw the film, what did you think about that major twist with a certain character?
You know, I was all about it.
I was about it too. I was like, whoa.
It's kind of, I mean, going off another sequel that came out, 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
This one did it the way it should have been.
Yes. H2O was a piece of shit.
This was more realistic, but also... what happened here is what would really happen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But they went further to give it just enough, pulp awesomeness, just to give it life and give it a pulse.
Yes.
And,
yeah, Doug told me that when that midway twist happens, he was like, whoa, that's not supposed to happen in a Halloween movie. So.
Yeah. No, I was down with that. What did you think?
At first it was a big shock. I was like, Doug, that's not supposed to happen in a Halloween movie. That type of character is not supposed to make an alignment change like that.
Yeah.
So I actually loved it. I saw some people hated it and said, oh, I didn't like that twist. And I'm just like, fuck you guys. They can't give you the exact same movie every single time. They gotta pepper in some twists in there. So, to give you something a little bit more fresh.
Yes.
I also love the ending where where it's that cat and mouse game between Laurie and Michael, and then unfortunately the daughter and the granddaughter are just stuck in the middle of it. But that twist with the daughter saying, I can't do it, and then the events proceed to happen. Both me and my wife were screaming, yeah, in the theater. So, and I've never, like, screamed to a character in a theater, in a packed theater, saying, bitch, get up the fucking stairs before. And I did that during Halloween. So yeah, Halloween, my God, was that a surprise. I was expecting a good Halloween movie. Instead, I got a great Halloween movie. So I'm like...
That's something you gotta really wish for.
Yes, you know, and I was like, and then the guys who did Pineapple Express gave us this. What a twist! So
yeah, that's hey, stranger things have happened.
I guess you know, I guess so. Anyway, Sterling, so your number 5.
My number 5 comes with a big apology, huge apology,
really,
to James.
Why?
My number 5 is Annihilation.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Sterling, I'm just happy that it's in your top 5.
It is.
Okay, cool.
So, but I'm going to explain why it is. So, here is why my Annihilation is number 5, because it's just that good of a movie. I'm torn.
Do you think it's a weak story?
No. I think it's teetering on genre and thriller and sci-fi.
Okay.
I don't know if this is really fully a horror movie. I think it's a sci-fi with horror elements. Much like, to me, Frankenstein's not a horror movie.
That's a shocker.
That's a sci-fi. That is a legitimate sci-fi, but in a horror container. Mm-hmm. You know? Just because Star Wars has robots doesn't mean it's sci-fi, it's fantasy. Mm-hmm. It's fantasy with robots instead of dragons. You know, if that makes sense to you?
Yeah.
So Annihilation, I'm still torn. Is this really a horror movie? Because there's a creepy-ass thing in it. There's a couple creepy-ass things in it.
There's multiple creepy-ass things
does that mean it's horror, you know?
Yeah, this is where the argument's going to come into. Yeah,
so to me, regardless of that, though, let's just talk about how good the movie is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great movie, you know? There's not much to really say other than the fact that no one saw it. But also,
that's the travesty of the year. Nobody saw Annihilation.
No one watched it. So little watched it that, the foreign rights went to Netflix.
I know.
But I guess, Alex Garland, you're a great writer. You have a great mind. I think that
I would say that his framing is terrific.
Oh yeah,
his framing and his shot composition is like, oh my God.
He's really good at knowing what he wants.
Yes.
Knowing what he's trying to transfer visually as a writer turned director. Mm-hmm. It's rare that you get to really see that. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously proven by Aaron Sorkin's debut last year. He should go back to just writing. Mm-hmm. But one of the few examples of being just as good at writing as you are now directing. So, his environmental pull, amazing. His characterization, really good. I gotta say, there's this one thing about this movie.
Was it Natalie Portman's performance?
No.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
There's one thing that, again, that just did it for me, and I'm just like, fuck.
What?
This can't be my favorite of the year. It can't now.
Was it the ending?
Fuck yeah.
It was the ending. Wait. The ending in the lighthouse or the ending in the hospital?
The ending in the lighthouse.
Really?
Okay.
Whoa, that's one of my favorite scenes.
No, it's okay. I don't blame you.
Okay.
Anyway, so, okay, let's take Looper as an example here.
Okay, you hate Looper.
We have Looper. I do, but I didn't hate it until this happened. So, okay. Looper, they go to a farmhouse eventually on the run.
Yeah.
And, Emily Blunt is taking shelter to this possible criminal, and as soon as his whereabouts are found out and his pursuers engage him in this farmhouse, all of a sudden the little random kid turns into a psychic, Akira character and blasts them all away. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? He wasn't even really a character till right now. And the movie loses me and I'm done. Because now I don't give a shit. The movie broke its own rules and it's doing whatever it wants now. It's like Superman saying, oh, I have a new power now. so I can't die in this situation. You know, this movie to me doesn't do anything that bad. It's just, I'm gonna spoil one thing. We'll put the timestamp on the screen really quick.
Spoiler.
But yeah, we have a movie about, you know, some pretty far-fetched shit. You know, a comet hits the Earth, and they're...
Oh, I would say that the storyline is pretty akin to H.P. Lovecraft's Color Out of Space.
Basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But just look at what you're watching. You know, you're watching things about, you know, people's DNA being absorbed and resorbed and transferred to the plant life and the animals and the skyline, you know? Yeah. And then, you know, becoming a combination of all of it, but having its own, you know, its own life force as opposed to ours. And, you know, so you're already pretty willing to go with anything.
Yeah.
I can handle that up until Jason Leigh starts breathing fucking fire and turning into a fucking ball of the quantum realm from Doctor Strange, and then starting, you know, to do Simon Says, you know, as the Silver Surfer. And then I'm just kind of like, all right, you know what? If you got rid of the breathing fire thing, I'd be still here. I'd still be here, because that was pretty fantasy for me, and I hate fantasy. I can't do it. It came out of nowhere, and it was stupid. It was so fucking stupid that I was embarrassed watching it. If you just change that, I'd be good. Literally, this is an example of how temperamental my ability to believe something can get. You do like one thing that bad, and I'm like, that blemishes the movie. It's no longer a perfect painting. You've accidentally dumped a little bit of white in your corner here of the Mona Lisa, and I can't not look at that now. It's like noticing Christian Bale's eye wart, and you can't not notice Christian Bale's eye wart now. You know, in every movie.
I didn't even know he has an eye wart.
You're going to notice it now.
You ruined Christian Bale for me.
Get ready for Wart Man Begins.
No.
But basically...
Swear to me. No, swear to your wart.
Swear to me, you'll give me cream. You know, but hey, imagine this. This one thing happened and ruined the ending for me, but it's still in my top 5. Doesn't that mean it's a good movie?
Yes.
But again, I'm going to say I was close to not including this on my list for the sake that I don't think it's really a full horror movie. And for the same reason I didn't include You Were Never Really Here.
Okay.
You know, not a horror movie, but it has horror elements.
That you said was a horror friendly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm close to considering this a horror friendly for the same reason Under the Skin is a horror friendly. Mm-hmm. You can almost call both of those straight up horror, but they're not. They're science fiction with horror visuals. Mm-hmm. You know? So I feel like I'm cheating by including it, but you know, what's done is done. Moving on.
All right. So my 4 is Annihilation.
Yes.
yeah, that's my 4.
Okay. Let's revisit this.
Unlike Sterling, I fucking love this movie from head to toe, from start to finish. Mm-hmm. Where to start? For me, it is a sci-fi horror film. It is a sci-fi film first and a Lovecraftian horror film nightmare second. I count the visuals, I count the tone, I count the sense of dread. Because, Sterling, you were forgetting about the sense of apocalyptic dread that this film was inducing.
Basically.
Yes, it was. I mean, there was a sense of apocalypse.
When they can remember when the apocalypse is happening.
Yeah, it goes back and forth between
it plays with the viewer's ability to construct the timeline enough to almost throw that idea you just said out the window, though.
Almost. But the thing is, with the dread and the fact that the body horror and the weird alien horror borders on Lovecraftian nightmare so much that I have to count that it's a horror film to me. It's a Lovecraftian sci-fi horror film with a message about self-sabotage. You have these characters, all of these characters going into the further... Or was it the further? No, that's Insidious, sorry. What was it?
The Glimmer?
The Shimmer.
The Shimmer.
The Shimmer, yes.
The Glimmer?
The Glimmer.
Glimmer was Spyro.
The Spyro. Wow, okay.
Spyro
anyways.
Ripto's Rage.
I know, so no.
Okay.
No, they're going into the Shimmer, and they're all technically broken characters. Mm-hmm. They're all broken characters, and a lot of them have a message about self-sabotage, that when we finally have things good in our life, we do things to self-sabotage it. And that message really rings true with millennials. You have any idea how many millennials I know self-sabotage themselves all the time? All the fucking time.
That's what they're good at.
It's what they're good at, self-destruction and self-sabotage. But the film has so many nightmarish moments. You can't skip the bear scene. That
No.
bear scene is just hair-raising.
That's still one of my favorite scenes in any movie.
The bear scene is hair-raising. When they review the video of the male soldiers and you see the man's intestines move on its own, it was like, oh my god. And then finally, there's this creeping sense of dread where you know these characters are going to get more and more and more into this nightmare world that the Shimmer has created. So, and not only that, when you get to the lighthouse thing, okay, the fire out of the mouth was a little fucking stupid. But when she turns into a ball and what comes into Silver Surfer doing like a weird fucking... I was like, what is going on in this movie? I don't hate it, but I kind of love it because I don't know where this is going. Whenever I feel like I don't know where this is going, I can't completely hate the film. And because of that, I also love it. I also love just the visuals, you know. Alex Garland's, his direction is so fucking top-notch. The framing, the shot composition, the movement of the camera, I was like, oh my god, you know. I fucking loved Annihilation, and it's just, it pains me that...
It went unwatched.
It went unwatched. It feels downright criminal that this movie went unwatched.
A lot of it has to do with Paramount
Dumping
not believing it so much that they dumped it.
They lost all faith in it.
Well, no,
it's weird.
They dumped it first quarter in winter.
Yes,
They purposely made sure it didn't get seen even here. If they made this early summer or even late spring, this could have had a chance.
Put it out in May.
Yeah,
May would have been the perfect month.
They put it in was it February?
Early February.
Horrible.
Yeah, no.
And no, they weren't trying to copy.
Whenever a studio puts a movie in January or February, they have no faith in it.
Yeah, there was no such thing as trying to copy Black Panther's success because that was the same month.
Yeah.
They didn't even know they were going to do that. Mm-hmm. So you can't give them credit for anything here. Paramount fucked the film.
Yeah.
So, so they lost money for why?
I know.
And they dumped so many
good movies. I know.
So many movies.
But
and
anyway,
and some bad ones.
And some bad ones,
Weren't they Cloverfield?
Yes, they were.
Okay, yeah. So,
but anyway, my number 4 is Annihilation. It's a Lovecraftian nightmare, and honestly, that is a better Lovecraftian film and hits the tropes of Lovecraft better than The Endless. But that's for our disappointed section. So anyway, your 4th of the year, Sterling.
Okay, now here comes where I argue for myself.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I have seen many films that can be misconstrued as different genres.
Uh-huh.
Here's one that is basically... Okay, this is a film I saw last year at the San Diego Asian Film Festival.
Ah, okay.
And
but it came out officially this year.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
On American VOD.
Okay.
So, this is a movie that was completely marketed as just a family drama. Mm-hmm. And then I watch it and like, no, this is a fucking family trauma. This is brutal. Okay, so I know exactly what this director was trying to go for. He was trying to get audiences into seats to see a movie about a dad slowly being, getting closer to his family, trying to reconcile how busy he is. That you've seen that before. And then instead they have to watch fucking kids get murdered.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? So, okay, my number 4 goes to the one film on here that I will have to argue is a horror film. This goes to a movie called A Day.
A Day.
This is the South Korean Groundhog Day. However, or the South Korean Happy Death Day. There you go.
Okay.
But, however, where Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day each have their own reset moments.
Yeah.
This movie's moment resets whenever the father has to watch his daughter get hit by a fucking taxi cab and killed on the spot.
Oh my god.
And he has to find a way to break this cycle so that he can save his daughter's life without having to watch her on the ground, surrounded by random people with blood gushing out a gaping wound in her head.
Okay.
And let's be honest, this girl's like 8.
Wow.
So this is insane. There's multiple instances where you have to watch her take the full impact in slow motion.
Oh my lord.
And basically, it's the standard cycle, of trying to, you've got to solve that problem in your life, and eventually life will let you carry on, right? Mm-hmm. This one has a couple twists to it that I loved. So he's redoing his whole day. He has the same obstacles. He has to either decide to, fulfill them or completely ignore them and look like a total dick. This guy's a world famous surgeon, and he's expecting a press conference that day. So he has to either fuck that up and try to save his daughter, or try to go with his job, and his daughter's dead, and he resets. So, without much of a choice, he's just constantly trying to land in his airport from his plane, get to his car, drive as fast as he can to the accident point, and try to save his daughter. He doesn't know how. Like, as soon as he gets to the point, his daughter's dead.
Wow.
As soon as he gets to the intersection, the taxi cab's already there. So, the couple of times he gets there fast enough before it happens, he has enough time to get out of the car, scream her name, she looks at him distracted, and then gets hit.
Oh, Jesus.
So, he keeps doing that until one of the paramedics who comes to help the taxi cab driver gets out, runs to the dad and says, "You're different. What's going on?"
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then everything is fucking changed. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Then it's basically like, wait, and then gets hit, reset. And then it's like, who was that guy? I gotta find that guy. So they go back again. He waits for the paramedic instead of the taxi. They get out. He runs to the paramedic and says, "Okay, what's going on?" It's like, "I don't know. I keep waking up and this keeps happening." Then the movie stops with the dad for a second, and it goes to the perspective of the paramedic waking up instead, and thinking, "Okay, I have to go to the accident," and then things. I don't get what's going on. Then he goes one time. He ends up thinking, "Okay, is it something with the taxi driver?" He goes to the taxi driver until he looks in the back seat. It's his wife who's also dead.
What the fuck?
And then he starts thinking, "Wait, he's trying to murder my wife."
Whoa.
And then, but then it's
this
like...
is Groundhog's Day times itself by a million.
Oh, you want me to go further?
Yes.
So, I'm not going to go too much further, but basically, let's just say the two men start working together to break the code. For the first time, we have two people in on the conspiracy, fighting it from two different spectrums.
Yeah.
And let me tell you right now, this is not one of those horror movies where they make dumb decisions. They're smart. Like there's one point where the paramedic breaks his face with a brick, runs into the police station and says, "There's a hit and run. It's a taxi. It's this number." So they can go, so the police can stop the taxi before it hits anyone. And it's like, this is brilliant stuff, because who gives a shit? It doesn't work. You're just going to reset.
Yeah.
But it keeps going until they realize, so, wait, the wife's dead. My daughter's dead. We haven't reset yet. And then it resets. It's like, why is there a delay?
Yeah.
Until they realize, the next time it happens, and the taxi crashes and stuff, it crashes into a big mound of bricks every time. So it's not a soft impact. There's no way they can survive that.
Yeah.
But the paramedic goes to the taxi driver and says, "Why are you doing this? Don't you know you're killing her?" And then basically this is not what he says, but basically what he does...
Should we say spoiler here?
Spoiler.
Big spoiler.
The taxi driver basically looks at the paramedic and basically says, "Fuck you." Basically. He doesn't say that, but in his own way, he says, "Fuck you. You deserve this." And then a third perspective starts.
Oh shit, this keeps going down the rabbit hole.
And that's where I'll end this. You have to watch it.
Oh my god. My wife's probably going to be on board for this film.
This is the most intricate Groundhog's Day version of this kind of trope I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And they take it so far to end the cycle. This is the most endearing, but also like pulse-pounding thing. Because no matter who you are legitimately on board wanting to see a good outcome. Because you don't want to see an 8-year-old kid get murdered over and over. You unless you're a monster, you won't hate this movie. Just give it a shot. It's on VOD. A day. Give it. Please watch.
That's the surprise of this podcast, right there. A day. So
yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. My third.
Oh, huge shout out by the way to Brian Hu, programmer at Asian Film Festival, for including that.
Okay.
In 2017. If it weren't for that, we wouldn't know about this movie because this movie has not been watched by many people here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
My third, Sterling. Okay, my third favorite horror movie of the year was a horror movie in which we both saw at the Frida Cinema just a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
And we have the bragging rights that we saw the director's cut 7 months before everybody else, and
Yeah.
that is Lars von Trier's The House That Jack Built.
Yes.
I let this movie digest for about a week, and I fucking love it. I absolutely... This is probably maybe my favorite serial killer film.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Dillon is probably one of the best acting roles I've ever seen this year. I love how the film is art house down your throat, but it's not pretentious art house. It never gets pretentious, and that's why I love it. Not only that, I love the philosophical dialogue about art and the meaning of art and the meaning of everything.
Yeah.
Between him and Vern, the mysterious character that we don't...
Verge.
The mysterious character we don't find out until later on into the film.
Yeah.
I love how the film has completely different tones for every single incident. The first tone is satisfying because Uma Thurman's character almost fucking deserves it. The second incident, the tone is comedic.
Yeah.
Like, the audience kept laughing and laughing and laughing during it.
I couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was
so fucking
I thought it was
comedic.
hilarious.
It's so fucking... Every single time he thinks about it, and he's like, and he walks back in.
Like, it felt like all of a sudden the second one was directed by Larry David.
Yes, it was so good. And then we get to the third incident, which I could hear a pin drop by how brutal it gets. And it's so disturbing, the third sequence. And then the fourth incident, the tone is completely tension-filled.
Oh, yeah.
You said that... I'm sorry. When the blonde girl realizes who she's with, that she's with the serial killer, and she starts slowly trying to walk out of the apartment, you said that you were on edge. And I was on edge too. I was like, oh my God, so...
I can feel this movie probably moving up my list right now.
Yeah.
Just going back in and seeing things again.
And then the fourth, and oh my God, and then the fifth incident, he actually completely changes his method of killing, and he tries something new, and that's where it gets to him. That's where the shit hits the fan for our dear serial killer. But then the movie takes this radical left turn, left turn at the fifth incident, or I'm sorry, the epilogue.
Yeah.
The epilogue takes this fifth incident that's just... You know how I've used the phrase... This is a major spoiler, folks. You know how I've used the phrase, left turn into hell? Well, in House at Jack Belt, literally. It is literally a left turn into hell. They're in fucking hell.
Yeah.
The last, 35 minutes of this film, they're in hell. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, why are we finally introduced to Verge physically and visually? Now, why are they going down below? Why are they spelunking? Why? Oh, shit, they're in hell. What the fuck? And it's like...
you think they're just taking some random passage into, a safe house.
No, they actually go to hell. But hell turns into these recreations of Renaissance artwork.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell? And Jack's there and Verge is there, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Then you realize why... For so long,
after you digest
throughout this whole movie, Jack has been monologuing his passion for such Renaissance flair, and his existence now literally is being trapped in a hell of this creation.
Yes.
You know, it's basically
he is
conformed.
In his own hell.
It's conformed to what he has basically bestowed upon himself.
Yes.
And
the scene where he sees all those men cutting the wheats in with scythes in hell, and he starts crying to it.
Yeah.
He's not having a good time.
No. He's realizing now, wow, I'm expressing an emotion. It's not a good one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an amazing scene because it shows the reconciliation of everything he might have done.
Yeah.
The fact that maybe I did something that was wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a dick.
Maybe I am a monster.
And also, really quickly, me and James talked about this movie after we saw it.
Yes.
Briefly.
And you weren't a fan of the hell sequence.
I was lukewarm.
Yes, you were lukewarm on the hell epilogue.
I thought about it a lot, and this is one of those few moments where a crazy left turn ends up being my favorite part of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to turn you on to the crazy left turn aspect of cinema. I swear. One of these days.
Try to save Annihilation from me for,
I'm going to defend that film.
I'm going to say right now, you just made me realize how superior this movie is.
I don't think you digested it.
This is the first time I'm doing this ever on this podcast. Yes? I'm flipping this.
Really?
This is my number 5 now.
Good.
Annihilation's going to my number 8.
Okay.
All right. Because I realize, why am I giving Annihilation that much credit if I, honestly, in my soul, I didn't appreciate it half as much as this movie.
As House that Jack built.
Yeah.
House of Jack built.
House of Jack built, I feel completely comfortable looking at this. Yes, I did like my 6 and 7 more than Annihilation when it comes to wanting to rewatch it.
Yeah.
House that Jack built is a masterpiece.
It really is.
And
it's honestly, also, I was going to say, it's we went into this film expecting an ultra disturbing serial killer film. Instead, we got a philosophical art house film.
I feel like I got a philosophical art house anthology.
Yes, it really is.
All directed by different people, it seemed like.
But it was all from the same... Anytime... This is why I love House of Jack built so much. Anytime you're watching a film and you feel like the director is walking the line between genius and absolute madman, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
And Lars von Trier is walking the line between genius and madman.
Yeah.
And like House of Jack built is his crown achievement.
Yeah.
That movie really did deserve its 10-minute standing ovation at cons.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So House of Jack built. What for all my serial killer film fans out there, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer and Eric Stoltz's Scrapbook is still those two are still the most disturbing serial killers movies ever made. But House that Jack built is the most what do I say? It's the most entertaining in an art house sense.
Yeah.
Yes, in terms of serial killer films.
Yeah.
So, plus the absolute terrific use of David Bowie tracks.
Oh yeah.
It's like genius. Yeah. Absolutely. When the rain basically helps him out, helps him get away with a murder, and he's crying to the rain.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
It kind of it gives it just enough of that Natural Born Killers flair.
Yes.
You know. So, yeah.
Now that you rearranged your list halfway through, what is your third, Sterling?
My third. After my new fourth.
Yes.
Is a movie I honestly thought I was gonna fucking hate.
Really?
I went into this expecting to hate it because I'm sick of this genre. I think everyone is at this point. However, this is the second most entertaining movie. Entertaining horror movie.
Yes.
I saw all year.
Yes.
Mainly because the saturation, the editing, and just the general visuals of how disgusting it is was just... I was smiling the whole time I'm watching it. My number 3, and I talked to actually John Condon of Dread Central about this.
Really?
He loved this too. I even told him, like, I thought I was going to hate this. It's like, no, I love that movie. My number 3 goes to Revenge.
I didn't see it because a lot of people fucking hated it.
I thought this movie was fantastic.
Really?
First off,
because neither of us are fans of the, quote, rape revenge genre.
I'm not. I'm tired of it.
I'm not a fan of that genre either.
However, this movie, after MFA, proves this genre should never be directed by anyone other than a woman. Because women have made the two best I've seen this entire century.
This entire genre.
Yes. MFA and this are the best that's been made past the year 2000. And they're both made by women. And that's how it should be. And this movie starts out just like you'd expect. Blonde chick, half naked, douchebag rich with her,
yeah.
And then 2 other rich dudes show up, and they're going on a hunting trip. You know where this is going, eventually. But then, of all people, though, it ends up being one of the rich friends.
Yeah.
Who starts, doing their thing with the girl, and it's horrible. And then one of the other guys who could totally stop it just watches for a second, then just walks away eating Cheetos. And then after the girl complains to her douchebag boyfriend after he gets back, he basically beats her and says, "Shut up, you're being annoying." And it's like, fuck, this is horrible. Now, here's the point where people didn't like the movie, and I get it. And it took me 2 watches to like it for this reason. So, they end up killing her. They throw her off a cliff. She gets impaled by a rock.
Okay.
She's done. But then she wakes up alive. And frees herself from what's going on.
Okay.
The problem here is that the film does not make it clear that this is a rising from the ashes metaphor.
Okay.
That everything that happens after this point in the movie is basically considered a fan fiction.
Okay.
This is basically the revenge she wished she could have. This most likely didn't happen. She's probably just dead. And the world is a horrible place. But the fan fiction takes over and says, fuck it. Let's right this wrong.
Okay.
She frees herself, and then the whole rest of the movie is basically her hunting down all three of these people in the desert.
Okay.
And basically, again, I'm going back to the editing here. The cuts are so slick, yet they're also montaged in this nightmare logic void of just creepiness. This movie has my favorite nightmare sequence ever in any movie. Yes. Because it's not only funny, but it's just disgusting. This movie does one of my favorite things ever. You remember watching SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy, and every now and then they would show that really hyper-realistic gross out close-up?
Yes.
This movie does that like 15 times.
Oh, wow.
And it hits every time. Like, there's scenes where you see the boyfriend laughing and you see like unchewed food in his mouth. And it's disgusting. And then it'll show one of there's one of like one of the rich dudes, just some fat ugly dude.
Yeah.
Who's just like talking to her like, what don't you like about me? You know? And then it shows like an iguana licking its lips, and then it goes to him licking his lips. And it's
Okay.
this is like the funniest shit. And also, there's a scene of her having to like pull the rock from out of her abdomen.
Yeah.
Slowly. And it just does that in all the gross, and this is the grossest ways. There's a scene in which one of the guys has to pull a giant shard of glass from inside his entire foot.
Oh, wow.
And it takes like 90 seconds for him to actually get it. You're watching blood gush out of this disgusting gaping wound.
Oh, wow.
Till he pulls out a piece of glass that's way bigger than should have been in there. And it's just, the movie knows it's not realistic, but it's realistic enough to make you cringe at what you're watching. Until the final showdown in the house where everything happened. I've heard this unanimously. When even people who don't like this movie think that the way they handle the final cat and mouse showdown is one of the most creative versions of this they've ever seen.
Okay.
In which you just have to watch, basically, you have to watch everything flip on its head, in which now the girl is chasing the man around the house.
Okay.
As there's blood gushing everywhere.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
soon, as they're basically running after each other in an empty house down hallways, and they're missing each other by mere seconds, switching their direction of where they're going to go find each other.
Huh. So it's a reverse cat and mouse.
Basically, yeah, because neither one knows who's pursued and who's pursuing. They're both under the idea that they're both chasing someone who's running.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. I'm actually very disappointed you didn't see this.
This is because I heard so much hate for it. That's why. And plus, again, I don't gravitate towards the rape revenge.
Yeah.
I don't gravitate towards the rape revenge genre. That's why and if it's a rape revenge movie, I'm not going to see it. And then if it's a rape revenge movie that people are hating, you bet your ass I'm not going to see it.
I will not see Rape Revenge directed by a man.
Okay.
Why would I? If it's directed by a woman, yeah, I'm going to see that.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's hated, because they're making a movie about an issue, and they're trying to alleviate some of the tension by giving it a genre mask.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that. I will support a woman if she wants to tread those waters, because to me, I feel like they have the right. I know that sounds pretentious.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Abel Ferrara's Miss 45 is the only rape revenge movie by a man I will ever watch.
Okay.
Because Last House on the Left and all that, fuck those movies. I think they're disgusting.
Okay.
They shouldn't be made by men. And also because I think they're terrible. I do not like the original Last House on the Left. I'm sorry. But so anyway, let's go.
All right, so what are we on? My 2?
Yeah.
My 2 is a movie that is on your list, but apparently you hate it. And then my 2, my 2 is what I call the A24 redemption movie, Hereditary.
Wait, I hate it? It's on my- it's on my top 10.
It's on your top 10, but you were rough on it. You know,
I was.
You're a little rough on it. I'm like, come on, leave poor Hereditary alone. So, but anyway, I really loved Hereditary because last year's A24 horror film, It Comes at Night, was such a shit show that when I walked into Hereditary saying, this is your last fucking chance, A24. If this does not wow me, you're done. I'm not going to see any of your movies.
Yeah.
And I walked out of the theater saying, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
It's a family drama. It's a fucked up family drama first, because you see this family going through the grief of their grandmother, even though the mom is torn between grief and relief, because apparently the grandmother was like this ultra bitch matriarch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Then you have then a fucking tragedy happens halfway through. A tragedy that I wasn't expecting. So when it does happen, I'm like, oh my god, did that character really die? And then they cut to that character's fucking head in the middle of the street. So it's if it's the director saying, yes, she's dead. Look at her fucking head. And
Stop questioning my work.
Yes, and I'm going, oh my god.
Yeah.
So then
I loved that.
Yeah, that's shock. That's such a shock moment.
Like I needed that. So I knew I wasn't watching like a nightmare where someone's gonna wake up.
Yeah,
you know.
And then when it cuts to the head and then it cuts to the mom, absolutely just crying her eyes out. I was like, yeah, that character is gone.
Yeah.
So, and then what happened though is then the film. Well, I was worried about. When it comes to the neighbor saying, hey, look, we're going to do a Conjuring thing and you can talk to your dead, I was really, really worried. I was actually saying in the theater, in a packed theater, please don't be a Conjuring movie. Please don't be a Conjuring movie. Please don't be a Conjuring movie. Please don't turn into a Conjuring movie. And instead, it then turns into a fucking Nightmare Logic horror film combined with The Wicker Man. And I walked out of the theater saying, okay, it didn't turn into a Conjuring movie. I'm happy for that. I'm very happy for that. I actually, unlike you, Sterling, I love the last 20 minutes. I love how it goes from a grim family drama to a grief drama to a semi-Conjuring movie, and then it turns into The Wicker Man on acid.
Basically.
It turns into The Wicker... It's like if Clive Barker decided to make The Wicker Man, but he was taking acid while doing it. And I was like, okay. And then that final shot when it cuts to the little puppet scene, I was like, fuck, yes! That's such a great final shot. When they're saying hail payment, and then it cuts to that puppet thing, and I'm like, oh my god.
Well, because it has to exit the movie the way it
entered the movie. Plus, that entrance
a lot of people
where it cuts into that entrance of the film where it cuts into that house, the little makeshift dollhouse, and then it actually turns into the real house, and you're like, whoa, that's such a great shot. Also, what I love about Hereditary is when you watch the film the second time, you see all the clues. You see all the clues leading up to the ending that you missed the first time. You see that on the pole where the character dies on, there's symbols on the pole.
Oh, I hate that. Really?
Yes, there's symbols.
So everything was set up?
There's symbols on the pole. Also,
but that makes it worse for me now.
Really? Also, guess what? Also, did you know when you see all those naked people hailing payment and they're haunting the teenage son at the end of the film? Look at those naked people. That's the whole grief support group.
See, this is all ruining it for me, though. Because this is saying it was all just set up. This is not a fucked up world. This is just... They were just fucking with her now.
Yeah. I liked it the second time
How
around.
is that good, though?
That's good for me. That's not good for you.
No, because now it's like it's doing the Marvel thing where everything has to be connected. There has to be your thing.
Yeah, okay.
There has to be a reason for everything. You know?
It's connected, but it's only within one film. The Marvel things, everything's connected through 34 fucking films.
No, you know
that won't stop until the year 2085. For the love of God, Marvel, please.
No, see, you're trying to distract me and go down a different subject. It's not working.
Damn it.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
This movie just lost all of its lore for me. I wanted this to just be horrible, tragic accident, and now we're going to take advantage of it. No, it was all set up.
You see clues. You see fucking clues.
That's
There's only
lame.
There's two clues the second time you watch it.
You were making me like it more until this.
There are two clues the second time you watch the film where the symbols on the pole and the naked people at the end are actually the support group.
So, why did she go to that support group?
The grief support group.
Why did she go to that one? How was that so perfectly set up?
That's what I'm still trying to figure out. So,
what was it? A demon making her do it?
I don't know.
So stupid. It's fucking dumb.
Anyway, this is my second favorite film of the year. It was a big surprise for me.
I'm not done yet. I'm going back down.
I'm trying to stay clear of the heavy argument.
I was originally going to say the only reason why I didn't like, because I didn't tell anyone why I didn't like the ending. I just said I didn't like a certain part.
Why didn't you like the ending of Hereditary?
The fans fucked it up for me. Everyone
How did
overhyped
the fans
it.
they overhyped it. Okay.
Yeah, this was the most overhyped movie for me. So I kept hearing everyone saying, "Oh man, you got to see like the sawing scene." And I saw, I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
Sawing scene was kind of like the sawing
everyone's
scene
overhyping
with the
this.
thing in her neck felt very Junji Ito without
Yeah.
having that Junji Ito impact.
I thought it would have been way better if she wasn't looking at him.
Yeah.
Because that seems to imply what's not supposed to be implied.
Yes.
You know? She should have just been looking into space. You know, that could almost give off the idea that she's still in there in agony. Instead, she looks determined, kind of like, yeah, I'm a dick. You know? But, oh my god, really? Well,
You know what's funny? This is exactly. I have a knack for ruining films for you when I talk about them. Because remember, Better Watch Out last episode.
No, that was my fault. I didn't know there was an after credit scene.
Okay,
That's my fault.
But then when I tell you about it, you're like, shit. Now I don't like that movie anymore.
No, I mean, I would have found out anyway. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm glad you are the one who ruined it, as opposed to, you know, actually
You
having
finding
to
it out
see
on
it.
your own, and then you feel like a dummy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You know, no. So I thank you.
So wait. I'm more of a dick in this situation,
No.
telling you the clues to ruin a film further for you.
No, Ari Aster is.
The director is more of a dick to
That
you
was
now.
why,
Okay.
like, I don't know. To me, it's like it feels contrived to have everything so meticulously set up to the point where, you know, too bad this was your fate. You know, that's the only thing you can really say.
Yeah.
It can't be just, you know, horrible travesty taken advantage of, which to me is way scarier.
Now that
Where
you
it's
say
like-
about it, a witch, this major spoiler, guys, a witch group worshipping an ancient god taking advantage of a tragedy is scarier than it being all planned.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know, because then it shows that, like, in your grief, you're the weakest. Then it would
Ari Aster
be...
tells you that clue specifically. Do you know when they're driving to the party and it just does that weird asymmetrical shot of the pole for like nearly 30 seconds? He's wanting you to look directly into the pole and see the witch symbol.
You know, okay,
So you know what? He was trying to tell you people the clues the entire movie. It just took you all a second viewing to get it.
I'm probably going to VOD this to try to see it again.
Okay.
And see if it bothers me noticing these things. Maybe I'll be able to go with the whole, this is no longer a fucked up world. This is just fate that we're doing to you because we're magicians.
We're naked old people magicians.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I mean... I gotta do it again now because
Okay. I wish Doug and Matthew McPhee from Kaneko can join us because I know they both fucking love this film. And it would be a giant argument, like a giant four-way argument of like, Russia!
well, I mean,
so.
everyone likes this movie. This is the witch of the year, you know.
The Witch of the Year.
yeah.
A24 has a knack for making a fucking movie that everybody loves,
A20
but you always find underwhelming.
No, even if I do like it, A24 always releases the most overhyped horror movie of the year. You know, even if you like it, it was still overhyped.
Yeah, it's amazing that A24 is able to do this and Blumhouse somehow doesn't.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
It's weird.
It's weird. Yet they have all the properties and shit. It's like, how do you guys do that?
Well,
You
I
know?
mean, duh. The reason is because they're making it. A24 is just buying what works.
Okay, yeah,
You know, they're a
so.
distributor. Blumhouse is both that and production.
yes, they are.
Blumhouse just can't get over jump scares yet.
Yes and no.
They're slowly getting over it, but they're not there yet.
Okay, a movie to throw that off, a movie that wasn't jump scares and it was just a very brutal slasher film, Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Sure.
Yes, that was no jump scares. That was just a messed up slasher film. And that was like 2014. You ever notice that Blumhouse is really good at slasher films and they're losing their edge on ghosts?
That's true.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
and with Halloween being a success, I think that sends a message to Jason Blum saying, time to hang up the ghosts, time to put up the slashers.
Sure.
Yeah, so, but that's my two. I really fucking loved Hereditary. It gets under your skin, and guys, just see it for yourself.
It's still a very good movie.
See it for yourself.
I don't care,
so.
you shouldn't care what I just said.
Okay.
It's still a very good movie, and I mean that from a technical and performance standpoint,
Oh, yeah.
at least. Still, Toni Collette deserves a supporting Oscar nomination. And give love to Alex Wolff. He's carrying that movie.
Yes, he's an actually really good actor who's in good fucking films.
And no one gives a shit about him because of his Nickelodeon days, I guess.
I know. What's up with that? Yet,
I mean,
you know,
whatever.
I hate to say this.
He's earned his due.
Yes, he did a good job in the Jumanji movie last year.
He was in that.
Yes, he was in that.
that's
Everybody
right.
forgot. Yes, he was in Jumanji. So.
No, he's good. I like him more than Nate Wolf.
Yes,
Nate
absolutely.
Nate Wolf's. I hope he's not getting typecast as the kind of like weirdo school kid.
I know.
Alex has some range.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, number
You're on two.
Yeah.
Sterling's second favorite horror movie of 2018.
My number two is my number two because it's a movie I wanted to see made for so long, and every movie kept screwing it up, and just kind of going halfway and then saying, no, abort.
Okay.
I'm afraid of my movie being boring. Let's not do this. And then the movie becomes boring because it goes down a generic route.
Wait,
now.
this is your number two, but you're calling it boring?
No, I'm telling other movies that try this and they don't go the whole way.
And then they end up boring. So it's the copycats.
Basically, what I'm saying is movies like I Am Legend, fuck up.
Okay.
Because you could really make a great character study off studying the lone survivor, but then they go halfway and then, it's a random zombie movie now and it's boring.
Wait, is this Cargo?
Hell no.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, no. Okay, thank God. Okay, it's not Cargo. Okay, anyway.
The movie was so disappointing.
Yes, it was. Okay. But anyways.
My number two is a movie I stumbled upon by accident on Letterboxd, actually.
Okay.
It didn't even have an English poster.
Okay.
So I was like, what the hell is this? So my number two is The Night Eats the World.
I've actually heard good things about that. Stephen King was raving about that film on Twitter.
I did. I saw it after I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
wasn't that a German movie?
French.
It's a French zombie film, yeah.
Yes. However, this is the zombie movie, or actually, let's skip zombie. This is the last living man on Earth movie I've wanted to see since I was a kid.
Okay.
I always felt like, sure, Omega Man's great, but
Omega Man's fun, but kind of boring.
yeah, like it doesn't go the full mile.
Yeah.
This movie does.
Ooh.
And this is basically, I'll just give you the setup.
Wait. How did you see this? I thought it never made it to the States.
I got a screener. And
does that count as this year?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Because it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it is. So it is readily available for American audiences.
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. I take that back.
It's not physical.
Oh,
there's no
that's
physical
why.
release.
Okay, because I've seen bootleg sites sell physical copies of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
No. This is on Amazon Prime and Google Play and everything. Actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think it's on iTunes. It's not on Netflix, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. So I saw a screener of this. And I saw that the distributor was no one I really heard of, at least for the PAL.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was on Amazon, so I knew it had to be on Google Play.
Yeah.
I rented it again on Google Play because I liked it so much I wanted to see it again.
Okay.
Because my screener expired.
Okay.
So this movie gives the setup of this obvious introvert going to a house party, really loud, annoying house party with too many people. It's in like an apartment, so I don't know how the hell they're getting away with it.
So is that going to be you when you go to my New Year's Eve party? I threw you in a trap right there.
Hey, I'm driving myself, so if I have to abort at some point because it starts smelling too much like booze,
that's fine. That's okay.
I'm going to be there.
My wife will just be happy that you're there. So.
Sure. Okay. So it starts off with him showing up, and he's trying to get back some tapes.
Okay.
Which gives off the idea that he's a musician.
Okay.
And he's trying to get back his property because I think he just broke up with this girl who's throwing his party.
Okay.
That's what the dialogue is telling you. They don't give you much. You have to go off what they're saying. Because you're like right in the middle of something going on.
Yeah.
So, he's, drinking some beer, sitting by a wall, waiting for her to get done smoozing with her guests.
Yeah.
Until she walks over. She obviously knows his quirks. So she says, hey, my back room over there is quiet. You can go wait there for me. I'll just be 5 minutes.
Okay.
So he goes to the door, locks the door because he's sick of these fuckers.
Yeah.
And it's quiet. He can sit down. On his way, someone runs into him, so he breaks his nose, kind of.
Yeah.
So he has to go back there to kind of convalesce for a second and just realize, fuck, I'm already out of extrovert energy. I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
He falls asleep, waiting for her because she's not showing up. When he falls asleep, you start hearing everyone outside screaming and shit breaking. And so basically, he wakes up in the morning in the same place, realizes, shit, she never even came through here, and then grabs his box, opens the door, and everything's fucked. And just empty and
This
blood everywhere.
sounds like a fucked up Twilight Zone.
This is the most Twilight Zone movie I saw all year that wasn't Twilight Zone. This felt like it.
Take that, the Endless, but that's another conversation.
So, yeah, after that, he starts looking around, and there's no one around. He starts walking downstairs, and he sees everyone sitting on the steps, and he just says, and then one of them, I think, is the girl. Is his ex.
Okay, that's creepy.
And then he calls out her name, whatever it was, I forget.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in unison, everyone turns to him, like, ferally, quickly, fully zombified, and run towards him.
Oh, shit.
And he has to close the door. It's like, oh, shit. This is obviously one of the few zombie movies where zombies are known about in pop culture.
Okay.
So there's no...
The characters actually say the word zombie?
They don't say zombie.
Okay.
Because, well, I'll get to why no one says zombie. But obviously he doesn't need to... There's no stupid development of like, hey, how come you can't hear me? You look dirty. You know, like, obviously he knows danger, you know?
Yeah.
And then he looks outside. All the cars are fucked. Everyone's dead. Everyone's a zombie if they're still around. And the first thing he witnesses is an entire family try to run into their car until the zombies stop the dad, start killing him in the street, and then get into the car and kill everyone else.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like, and he's like, they're screaming, going, stay in the house, stay in the house. Like, he knows, like, no, he learns quick. He realizes that these zombies are activated only by audio.
Okay.
They can hear you. It's smelling, it's seeing, it's like whatever. You know, seeing obviously will perk their interest, but hearing something is what really drives them crazy.
Oh my god, this is the French zombie version of A Quiet Place, but with a more Twilight Zone edge.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Even more tension because there's no teams here. He's alone.
Oh, wow.
And so the first
he
thing...
doesn't have people to call his own.
Yeah.
It's just him.
This is a quiet, slow movie, but if you're into this kind of more... cerebral movie. It's amazing watching him go through the entire house, find everything he needs, food, weapons, maps of the building plan, everything, and then taking chalk and chalking off every door that has zombies behind it or something dangerous that he's not ready for yet.
Okay.
He has to level up, basically,
Okay.
before he's able to, like, get into those parts of the apartment and loot those places that have even better stuff.
Oh, wow.
And
You could turn this into an RPG.
basically,
Yes.
basically, but he's completely alone. There's no one to talk to, so there's almost no dialogue. You're following this guy as he's. But you know what's so cool? He's an introvert. He's in his own world. He's okay.
Again, like that classic Twilight Zone episode, Time Enough at Last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except instead of needing glasses, he's completely... it's weird. It's like he's scared and sad, but he's comfortable. And he's learning to live like this now. He finds a drum set. He's able to play drums, and he finds activities.
I thought they were attracted to sound, though.
They are, but he's fortified the building.
Yeah.
He's safe. You know? This is the first time where you find a survivor who he knows when he's safe and when he's not. He knows if he's not safe, it's his fault.
Yeah.
Because he leaves something unlocked.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. He's just smart in his own head.
Okay.
Early on in the film, this is not really a spoiler because this is in the first 20 minutes. He hears a gunshot.
Yeah.
Coming from downstairs. So he's listening in like, what the fuck happened? Until another gunshot shoots right by his face. And then he looks in and he sees an old guy who just committed suicide and shot into the ceiling. So like, he has to break the floor, jump down, get his gun, and he shot his wife to spare them pain, you know?
Yeah.
Until eventually later on in the film, he starts smelling something bad.
Oh, no.
And it's their bodies. So he's going to take their bodies and throw them out the balcony.
Yeah.
But then he realizes he doesn't really have the heart. So there's kind of a beautiful scene where he wraps them up in their linens and lays them on their bed with like candles and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of gives them what they would want.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's time in this movie to actually show this stuff for once.
Wow.
And it's a real character study of a survivor. And there's a zombie even trapped behind an elevator door. who he becomes friends with. I think he names it George.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
And
there's a little bit of Castaway in there.
There's a
little bit of Castaway.
It's Wilson, and he ends up being the only person he can actually talk to, and he develops with him. And so whenever he feels too alone, he can just go to George and talk to him for a second.
This is exactly our conversation about Train to Busan. Other countries are finally making good zombie films.
Yeah.
And America can't make a good zombie film for the fucking life of us.
No, they can't.
No.
This is the best zombie movie I've seen since Train to Busan.
Yes.
You know? And even when it gets to, oh my god, there's a brutal entire chapter of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil much, but basically,
I take it somebody he cares for gets it.
It's actually more than that.
Oh no,
I've never seen this. No, it's not really someone he cares for. It's someone in general.
Okay.
And then the movie, for just a little chapter, turns beautiful and harmonic, yet a little bit mean-spirited in how it kind of fakes you out with something. Really bad. And by the time it reveals itself, you're just like, ow, holding your heart for a second.
Okay.
Like, damn, he was getting used to not being alone.
Okay.
You know? And that's kind of the movie's way of letting him have some dialogue, develop late into the film.
Yeah.
And kind of show a little bit of how things could have been and how they will now have to be.
Okay.
And the movie, I'll just say right now, I really enjoyed the ending. I liked what it did. It's really a movie about, even though it's about zombies,
yes,
the theme is more so about self-growth.
Okay.
Becoming more comfortable with your own skin.
Okay.
And moving on from your social blockages. It's really cool. And it's my favorite metaphor for introversion since Under the Skin.
This is a zombie film for introverts.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's beautiful movie. And really quickly, you know, he's a musician.
Yes.
There is a scene in the movie in the middle of that chapter I mentioned.
Yeah.
In which they start playing music.
Yeah.
With random household items. He's just trying to keep his sanity. So he's making music with top spinners and clinking glasses and stuff. And they start humming.
Jesus, no wonder Stephen King fucking loved this movie.
Oh, yeah. And then they start humming this harmony with it.
Really?
It's... Honestly, I really wish this movie could be recognized more for its music. It's one of those beautiful things ever. And that same music plays in a remastered version over the credits. And it's just awesome. Like, the movie gave me chills, basically. You know, it's that oddly, like, scary, creepy, feel-good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have me on board.
Yeah.
You have me on board, sir. So, now we're up to number 1?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It's been, 2 hours? 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, as long as we don't reach the 3-hour mark, so.
Yes.
So, thank God. So, wow. James Coker's number 1 favorite horror movie of 2018.
I'm excited. I know it can't be Hereditary and it can't be Halloween.
Nope. That already passed.
Is it again?
It's not.
No, I'm kidding.
Please.
I'm just kidding. It, by the way, great movie. I'm not ragging on it.
You're not racking. You're not beating me up over that one again. Okay, all right. So, I'm going to be a little confessionary here, but fuck it. You know, it's legal in the state. All I'll say is it's legal in the state now. It became legal this year.
You're scaring me. What are you talking about? What's legal?
All I'll say is...
Are you talking about a movie or an act of felon? What are you talking about is legal?
Technically a federal felony, but a state legality combined with film.
Okay.
The first time I watched this movie, I did drugs to it.
Okay.
I did, and I loved it.
Not hard drugs.
No,
Okay,
God, Jesus, it was edibles.
That's not, to me, that's not drugs. That's THC. That's medical science at this point.
Tell that to the fucking Trump administration, but other than that, so... I took some edibles to this film.
Okay, you were scaring me. I thought you meant...
Oh, God, no. I'm a heroin addict.
I'm shooting up.
I'm shooting up.
If a movie, you need to be on heroin to like it, it's not good.
That's not a good movie. Yeah, no, that's not a good movie.
Yeah.
First time I watched this film, I was very excited for it, ever since the news of it from Sundance. I took edibles to it, and I fucking loved it. And then I apparently ate an entire big-ass bowl of mole with chicken. I pretty much made love to it, so with my mouth. And I was so, but the second
I already
time,
know the movie.
You already know the movie.
Yeah.
You already know where this
I've
is going.
studied the festival circuit.
Yes.
If you say a festival, you've hinted me too much.
Yes. The second time I watched the movie, it was a little slower while being sober, but a little bit of a slower film, but I still loved it because this film is like looking at a combination of a heavy metal album artwork combined with an LSD nightmare.
Wow.
And yet it all... Yes, I'm praising this film.
I like how you're describing it.
fucking praising this film.
No, you're describing it cool. I like it.
Yes, it's an LSD nightmare combined with a heavy metal album cover, all the while managing to be simultaneously beautiful and ugly at the same time. And that was...
If I can say really quick
Yes.
how I described it.
Yeah.
If the game Brutal Legend was made by the creator of Resident Evil, basically.
You have to throw some drugs in there. You have to throw drugs in there just because
Brutal Legend has enough drugs in it.
Brutal Legend have enough drugs.
Basically, it's Brutal Legend combined with The Evil Within to me.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That is Panos Cosmatos' Mandy. I never been this excited for a Nicolas Cage movie in my life because I love Nicolas Cage.
How often can you say that?
How often can you say you're excited for a Nicolas Cage movie? Not often.
Yeah.
But I was for this.
Yeah.
Because it was everything I heard back in January this year. It was like Nicolas Cage fighting a cult and Cenobite Mad Max biker demons in the woods, all while on LSD and having a chainsaw fight. I was immediately foaming at the mouth with excitement. Like,
It's like Homer looking at donuts.
yes, exactly. And the movie did not disappoint.
Yeah.
Now, what took me out of the film a little bit the first time was the movie doesn't get into the revenge and the metal aspect and the demons and the fucking gore and all that cool shit until an hour into the film.
It takes a long time.
It takes a long fucking time to
And
get into it.
I think everyone has the right to admit if you find yourself bored with the first half, that's fine.
That's fine.
I do think Panos went a little too long with developing nothing until finally it gets there. You know,
Honestly, the first time I saw the movie, I would agree with you on that. The second time with the movie, I am actually okay with the hour.
Well,
I'm okay with the first hour.
I'm okay with it too. I actually like the first hour at times a little more.
Yes, I agree with that.
But whenever someone complains about it, I totally don't even argue back. I'm like, no, I get it.
It's a fair assessment. It's an absolutely fair assessment.
It's a whole
Yeah.
hour.
It's a whole hour before we get to the actual story.
Half an hour, I would be like, dude, you have no patience. But no, if it's
Yes.
an hour, like, I get it, man.
I get it, yeah. So, but during that hour, the movie is absolutely beautiful. The cinematography, the coloring, the framing, the acting, the dialogue between the characters. It's like
The humility.
the
of what
absolute
they're against.
humility,
Yeah.
and the absolute humility of these characters. You genuinely feel that this couple of Nicolas Cage and what was the actress's name? God, something Roach.
Mandy Rhodes.
Right? No, that's the name of the movie. Yeah,
I'm
so
kidding.
that you genuinely
Is
feel,
it really?
Yeah, so you genuinely feel that they're a real couple that really love each other, and they're just living their life in the woods. Like I absolutely love that line where he comes in, and he's like, "Knock, knock, who's there?" Eric Estrada. Eric Estrada too. Eric Estrada from Chips. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And then finally, when the movie gets going and the cult hires these biker demon things, Cenobite biker demon things, using a glowing green crystal that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yes. To basically kidnap them and try to induct them into the cult. And then when that doesn't happen, all the while they drug her using a wasp sting. I was like, what the hell?
That was the scariest scene
That
of
was
the
a
movie to
really
me.
scene like, whoa, what's going on?
I
Yeah.
actually, when I was watching that scene,
Yeah.
I watched this for the first time
Yes.
on Google. And when that scene came on, I had to pause it.
Really?
I couldn't watch it at first because
Oh man,
I couldn't tell what
it does a close up of the stinger going into her neck.
I couldn't tell what it was that they were pulling out of the vase.
Yeah.
But as soon as you see what it is, I was fucked up. I had
Oh,
to pause
yeah.
it. That was scary.
Yeah,
The idea
and
of
then-
giant bugs like that. creeped
Oh
me
yeah,
out.
and then basically they end up burning her alive and making Nicolas Cage's character watch.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, a lot of people love the Cheddar Goblin scene and think that's the best scene in the movie. It's not. That is not the best scene in the movie.
I don't think it is.
It's not. It's a fun scene, but it's not the best scene.
Yeah.
He comes back there in tighty whities and he sees this weird commercial about a Cheddar Goblin. You guys can do your own research on that scene. But when he goes into the bathroom and he just starts screaming, I was like, this is why some people think Nicolas Cage is actually as a thespian. Because of the amount of crazy that he can portray on camera is amazing. And then the whole film is him tracking down and killing every single one of these Cenobite biker things combined with the cult. And when he's fighting the Cenobite bikers, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like when he calls them, "You're a vicious snowflake," and he knocks them out and he cuts one of their throats and he's like smiling with all the blood hitting him in the face. And then he gets into a fucking duel using... Somebody described the axe that he makes as pretty much the M from the Metallica logo.
Basically.
He uses that to fight him, and it's just like... And then he takes the LSD himself, and it's like...
Yeah.
Might as well. You watch that whole movie on edibles, really strong edibles... You're on a trip. You're on a fucking trip, the whole movie. And then finally, when he kills the cult and he's walking out of the church burning, it's like, whoa, just the visuals are... It's almost undescribable, the visuals. The second time you watch it, you admit that the first hour is slow as hell, but it's still such a fun ride. Yeah. This is my favorite film of the year because it's... I don't know what to say. This is so many things rolled up into one film that it's like... Imagine, how would I put it in food terms? Imagine everything you love in a burrito put inside of a burrito and it's cooked to perfection. And then when you take a bite, you're actually transported to another dimension. I think that's my love for this movie. That is my absolute love for this movie, Mandy.
That's a great Adult Swim description of why.
And it's somehow the perfect burrito. And you think, in the rest of my life, I don't think I'm ever going to get a burrito like this. And that's Mandy.
Definitely not going to.
No. And plus, let's talk about how fun and tense that chainsaw sequence is. He gets into Nicolas Cage gets into a chainsaw fight with another dude.
Finally, people can stop talking about Texas Chainsaw 2.
Yes, or Motel Hell as being the only chainsaw fights. Nope, we got a third chainsaw fight movie.
This is my favorite one.
Yes, Mandy,
because
absolutely.
It kind of pulls a quick one on you.
Yes, it does.
And it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
I also want to say really quick, and this plays to how much fun I had watching him kill.
Yeah.
That I was almost disappointed the first time at how quick he made some of the deaths. He made some of the deaths almost like merciful. Like when he throws the axe into one of their heads.
Oh, he just goes, woo, 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 blah, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted that guy to feel pain. I hated that guy. His face is annoying. His stupid window thing's annoying.
The motherfucker who said she burns bright, he got a painful death.
Yeah.
As he was talking, he got it right down his throat. And I'm like, that's a satisfying death for that piece of shit.
He almost didn't get one. It seemed like they were going to end him quick.
No, but he goes,
yeah,
so...
I just wish the stupid windshield guy got it better.
The one who was cleaning his car and just whack, So.
I like how he was cleaning his car, but everything else was just disgusting.
My friend Doug, he loved how the main baddie is really, when he's actually confronted with Nicolas Cage's character, Nicolas Cage is basically about to kill him, and there's nothing that this main baddie can do, he actually turns into a giant pussy.
Yeah.
And he's screaming, "I'll suck your dick, man, please."
Yeah.
It shows how these big bad cult leaders are really just fucking... they're charlatans. They're charlatan chicken shits.
Look at how he reacts when she starts laughing at him naked.
Yeah, and he's like, "Stop laughing at me!"
He's totally not fit for that job.
No. Mm-hmm. And he's looking into the mirror screaming, "What do you want me to do?" So he actually did a great job in the movie, too.
Oh, I thought he was great.
Oh, absolutely.
Mandy is one of the prettiest movies made.
Oh, absolutely.
In a while.
And somebody on the fucking bloody disgusting comment threads, I swear to God, I hate that comment thread. That comment thread on that website is like the fucking Fox News comment thread of the horror community. Somebody said that...
Is it a troll? Is it a troll?
It's just nothing but trolls and right-wing assholes. It's ridiculous. But somebody said that take away all the Instagram filters and Mandy is boring. And I tell you, no. Mandy is still a fun movie because you still get Nicolas Cage killing Cenobite bikers and a fucking occult leader in gory ways.
It'll not be as interesting now.
Without the Instagram filters.
But... without him, it'd still be like, wow, this is bloody.
It's still a fun Nicolas Cage film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mandy is... I don't want to use the burrito reference again, but Mandy was...
My burrito.
Oh, say it like Nicolas Cage. My burrito. When he's watching the Cheddar Goblin commercial and his tidy whitey's going, "No Cheddar Goblin." I fucking lose it. Every single time. I don't lose it in terms of trying. I lose it because it's like... This is a movie. This is a real movie. Combine that with the Eric Estrada joke. I'm like, this is everything I've ever wanted.
I was kind of like double taking.
Yes.
When I'm like, what's your favorite planet? Like, Galactus. Like,
Yes. Oh,
And like-
Jupiter.
like-
Why? Because it's so big, you know.
yeah, it's like, that's not a planet. It's like, yeah, but he eats planets. You know, I'm like,
Hates planets. What the fuck?
Like,
That's one of the reasons why I fucking love this movie.
I was almost kind of like, good answer. You know,
That's one of the reasons why. This is everything I've ever wanted in a Nicolas Cage film. I don't think any other Nicolas Cage film is going to amount to the absolute crazy that is Mandy.
yeah.
I don't think it ever is. Now, if you make a movie where Gary Busey is doing this shit, but in a completely different tone, then it'll be, okay, that's a runner-up.
God.
That's a runner-up.
Imagine Gary Busey doing all this.
Oh my god. Could you imagine a Mandy 2 starring Gary Busey? I'll be like, I will pay 3 ticket prices just for myself, thank you.
Hello,
So-
Mr. Axe. Fly freely like a bird.
like a bird. Yeah.
Hello, bird. You know,
Bird. I'll be like, yes, yes.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but Mandy
Imagine Gary Busey killing the cult leader by biting him.
biting his face with
giant
teeth. Yes, with the giant. You ever seen that death scene in the Bigfoot movie Abominable? But it's with Gary Busey
my
just like,
God.
like
Yes.
pulling like a Freddy Krueger mouth thing, like
Oh my
that.
god.
Oh, but yeah,
I'd be down. I'd be down.
Oh yeah, I would pay good money for that.
I'll crowdfund that.
Yes, Can we please crowdfund that?
Yes.
Can we crowdfund like Gary Busey taking down cult members and bikers?
Yeah.
Please.
Just a remake of Mandy called Busey.
Busey, please, please, folks.
Busey.
Okay. Okay, Sterling, enough about my love for Mandy. Your number one favorite horror movie of the year, because we still got to do our most disappointed and our honorable mentions too.
We'll probably just skim some of these.
Yeah, we're gonna have
because why do we want to talk about
Exactly.
negativity? But
Yeah.
even though I do that a lot. Okay, so my number one favorite horror film of the year was one that kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched this just because I heard it was good.
Yeah.
But I was watching this because I heard it was good from people who just, watch general, like, foreign films.
Okay.
This is marketed as a dramatic thriller,
Yeah.
but the content in this movie, I beg to differ,
Okay.
because it's pretty hard-hitting. Okay, my number one of the year is The Guilty. This is a Danish thriller that is the first good audio-only based genre film I've seen since Pontypool.
Oh wow.
So basically, this is taking off kind of that idea, except instead of being in a radio station and just hearing the horrors go on, you're in an emergency dispatch room, and you're watching basically basically a phone operator in an emergency station taking calls from all these people who have been shot or they've been robbed or some of them are just drunk. But he eventually gets a call from a woman who's just like, honey, are you okay? And he's like, excuse me? I think you have the wrong number. It's like, no, honey, are you okay? Do you need help? And it's like, ma'am, you have the wrong number. You're calling the emergency hotline.
Yeah.
And then she says, something really weird, kind of like, oh, I'm okay. How about you?
Okay.
And then he's like, I don't think you're hearing me, until she gives him kind of a tip of like, yeah, it's fine. Daddy's right here. And then he's like, and then he literally has to go, ma'am, are you alone? And he's like, and then she says like, no, honey. And then it's like, he starts getting the idea of what's going on. He says, ma'am, have you been abducted? And then she says, yes, honey, I'm fine.
Oh.
And then he's like, and then he just tells her, does whoever you're there think you're talking to someone you both know? And says, yes. And it's like, keep talking to me with only yes or no answers as if I'm that person. Do you know the person who's kidnapped you? And then basically they go down this crazy rabbit hole where he has to make sure to say the right thing without tipping off whoever this crazy fuck is who's kidnapped this woman. Otherwise, who knows what'll happen, you know? And this whole movie, he's trying to Get a hold of...
This was an American film?
This was from... no, this is from Denmark.
Okay, I'm sorry. Has most of our horror movies this year been foreign?
Basically.
Yeah, a lot of them have.
Yeah, well, they've been pulling it out.
Yeah, they have. They really have.
But yeah, like, this whole movie is just him trying to get back in touch with her, find out the whereabouts, using his crazy, like, all the... he can only use what he has in front of him to help track her down.
Okay.
And he has to also do this behind his boss's back, because technically not only is he off shift, but he is breaking all of the bylaws of the station to try to be biased and help a person himself.
Okay.
Because if he sends the cops, that could be the end of her.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's really scary, and my heart was pounding.
Oh, my
because
Lord.
he has, like,
The amount of tension seems palpable.
He's so helpless, and she's so helpless. And so he's constantly talking and trying to find out if she's safe or not, until basically he gets he triangulates the call, and he finds out who the phone is from. Mm-hmm. He has to look up on the phone book these last names.
Yeah.
Find out which one are women, and then he has to ask her, like, are you this person? Just say yes or no. And then she'll say yes. And then it's like, okay. And then he looks up her address, because after a while she says, my daughter's at home alone.
Oh, fuck.
And so he gets a squad car to go to the daughter's house. And so while that's happening, and he's like trying to force the cops to stop doing what you're doing, this is more important.
Yeah.
He's trying to comfort her until eventually the person who's driving the car, who they reveal is her husband, takes the phone and basically finds out, you've been talking to cops the whole time, you know?
No.
And so then they hang up, he loses contact, because obviously he's not going to pick up the phone for the cop.
Yeah.
And then he tunes in to the cops now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he calls the daughter
Yeah.
at the house. And the daughter's like, she sounds like she's like 4.
Yeah.
You know? And he's trying to get her to respond, like, are you alone? It's like, yes. Are you safe? Long pause. Yes. Who's there with you? It's like, just my little brother. I'm like, little brother? Younger than 4. And it's like, where is he? In his room, but my daddy said I couldn't go in there. You know? And so I was like, okay, we'll just wait by the door. The policeman is coming. And then eventually they come while he's on the call.
Yeah.
And then he just says, give the phone to the policeman. And then they start talking and saying, okay, younger brother somewhere in the house, find the younger brother, make sure they're both safe. Stay there until we can find out where these guys are going. And then you keep hearing, you know, the phone call, until all of a sudden you hear, like, one of the police officers go, like, oh shit, you know.
Oh no.
And then after he says that, you hear the little girl in the background go, like, what's wrong? And then you hear the other officer go, like, no, honey, don't go in here. It's fine.
Oh no.
And then basically one of the police officers has to tell them that there's something very wrong with the little baby.
Oh.
And then everything changes from there. And this is not just an abduction. It's something way worse. So
wow.
He eventually gets a hold of the husband and starts threatening him, basically saying, if you keep running, you're getting life. You are not getting away with this. This is horrible. And then basically it goes from there. Let me just say, things completely twist out.
Oh.
Completely. And
because of this tension and this audio and this twist, that makes it the number 1.
Well, because you have to imagine everything.
Oh.
And it's this is one of the most violent movies of the year. You don't even see any blood. You hear it. And you hear the fear and the crying and the pain. And you just see him having to deal with it all and try to keep a calm composure.
Yeah.
And while...
So because of that, the acting has to be really fucking good.
So good.
Really. Okay.
But also, you get the context that the main character, he's due
Our dispatcher.
Yeah. He's due for a court date the next day.
Okay.
In which he's being tried as a felon.
Okay.
For an accidental murder. And so the whole time he's doing this, he's knowing it, thinking, you know, this is like, this might be my last day as a free man.
Okay.
And if I don't you know, if I can't make a change in this person's life, then I just probably go away forever, and I have this on my conscience now.
Yeah.
So it ends up being kind of a really, really tense ride. But near the end of the movie, when that aforementioned twist happens over the phone,
Yeah.
after the investigating the house thing, that's not even that. The movie goes from crazy tense thriller over the phone to a straight up fucking horror movie.
Oh my god.
It's it ends up being a psychological horror film.
Okay. Yeah, you sold me. Hopefully you've sold our listeners.
Well, I mean, I really hope I did. I just found out something really cool. This is actually now Denmark's submission for the 2018 Academy Awards for foreign film.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping, if there's any chance, which is a very insanely low chance, this could end up being on the ballot.
Because we all know that the Academy hates jokes and horror movies.
But this is being billed as a dramatic thriller, which helps.
Oh, which helps. The Oscars
this is not a dramatic thriller. This is a horror movie.
This sounds like a psychological horror film.
Yeah, this is a horror film. They're doing this as smart marketing to get onto award ballots. And I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
So please watch this movie. Movie has to be good, where you're not seeing anything happening, but you feel like you're there in front of it because it's so detailed.
Oh my god.
I really hope you watch it, James. I think you would really like it.
Oh, I'm immediately seeking out this and A Day.
Yeah, yes. Sure, yes.
Oh, and Night Eats the World. I'm seeking out those three. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. I'm gonna totally see Extremity.
Okay.
You sold me on that. It sounds really cool.
On Extremity, yeah. So.
And definitely Satan's Slaves.
Oh yeah,
that just sounds. I love those twist. Well, how did we get here?
Yeah,
So.
Well, when we get to the honorable mentions, I think you'll like some of my honorable mentions. So
sounds good.
Anyway, so guys, those were our 13 favorite horror movies of 2018.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you all sat through 2 hours of that, but hey, maybe you all now have a list of horror movies you need to check out.
We hope so.
Anyway, sorry. Do you have any quick honorable mentions?
I do. Let's see.
Just very quick blurbs for each one.
Yes. My number one blurb would be a documentary that I saw again at last year's San Diego Asian Film Festival. It's called Kaniba, and it is...
Sounds Japanese.
It is.
Oh, okay.
And it is by Verena Pavarel and Lucien Casting Taylor of the famous Sensory Lab at Harvard University, who also made Leviathan and Sweetgrass, all these experimental documentaries. This one just gives us a close-up personal with the famous Japanese cannibal, who is now free. You just get 90 minutes of close-up shots of him eating chocolate and him just living out his life. And you get close-up of his brother literally self-inducing himself into fetish stabbing and bleeding and bludgeoning to get off because it's the only thing that works for him.
Wow.
But mainly it's a horror movie because the film's attempting to make you realize this cannibal is human like you.
Wow.
And it's just uneasy.
Any other honorable mentions?
I got two more little ones. My other one was the only other film this year made by the same team behind Halloween.
Okay.
Arizona.
Oh, I heard about that with Danny McBride. Yes.
Stars Danny McBride as a serial killer.
Yes. Who's a very inept serial killer.
Going around a freaking couple disgusting, suburbs and
in Arizona.
In Arizona. As he just accidentally at times and sometimes just straight up murders people out of frustration that people won't listen to him. And he has a nagging wife and his life is going out of,
I saw in the trailer where he's like showing one of the victims pictures of his family and him while he's wearing a mask and he's like, oh shit, I just showed you what I look like, didn't I? And it's like, oh my god.
After that he just takes it off.
He's like, oh fuck it, okay.
We gotta be friends or I gotta kill you.
So yeah.
This is a really funny movie, but also it's a middle class horror film.
Yeah.
It's kind of like imagine Falling Down if it was combined with a slasher film. This is a slasher film. Yeah. And also, I got to give a shout out to the huge amount of A-list cameos in this movie.
Really?
Yeah. David Allen Greer,
Wow.
Seth Rogen,
What?
Luke Wilson,
Okay.
the girl from Always Sunny, Dee Dee.
Oh, yeah, Dee Dee.
Yeah, all of them are in this, and all of them are just victims. It's great.
I gotta see this one.
This is worth seeing. It's pretty
Okay.
fun. It's not high art. It's just fun.
Okay.
And then my other honorable my other honorable mention is a movie we saw last year at Horrible Imaginings.
But it came out this year.
Yes, that goes to Midnighters.
Oh, yeah, Midnighters. Okay, my wife's not gonna like this one either, baby. I love you, and you're you're one of those beautiful women in my life. But Midnighters is a fun movie, but damn, is like Alex Esso just such a good and beautiful actress too. So
I thought she was great in this.
she does such a good job.
I
Yeah.
thought the villain in this was awesome. Do you have any creamer?
Yes. Do you have any creamer?
I still
Yes,
love that
so-
line. Again, everyone at the festival for some reason kept saying, "I've seen that movie already. It's already been done many times." Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
This was a good version of that movie.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun. And I just love those tense thrillers where the survivors or the doers of the deed
Yeah.
are just panicked idiots who kind of deserve to get caught, but at the same time you don't want them to.
Yeah.
I like that.
My honorable mentions goes to a movie that the actor who was at Horrible Imaginings, Graham Skipper, actually directed, called Sequence Break.
I
Sequence
heard
Break.
this is cool looking.
Oh, it's a cool looking film. There's really cool hallucinatory imagery in it.
Sure.
Basically, imagine if Videodrome, they remade Videodrome, but instead of a VHS tape with body horror, it's a retro arcade game
Sure.
based on the urban legend of Polybius.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Also, it's also way more of like a couples drama too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's
down.
a couple drama Sequence Break. Also, a Sci-Fi Channel monster movie, surprise, surprise, that honestly doesn't have any CGI in it, and the monster is completely practical.
What?
And it's about a kid who puts on a football mascot costume of a boar and turns into a giant monster boar and kills people at a bad high school reunion called Killer High.
What the fuck?
Yes, it was a sci-fi movie that aired in October this year, and it's so stupid but also really fun. Like, the boar starts killing people, and they do these freeze frame shots of people screaming and the blood and
my
everything.
God.
It even kills like a granny in a wheelchair as she's going, like
This is a thing?
This is a Killer High. Yes, it is.
Wow. That sounds so much better than the Meg.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Really
Killer
quickly,
High is a really fun film.
Why were people so excited for that?
Because I don't get why people were excited about the Meg, yet they shit on Sharknado. They're both incredibly stupid shark movies.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no one's ever excited for Mega Shark versus Super Raptor.
But you all liked the
But-
Meg just because fucking Jason Statham is in it.
Yeah.
Dumbasses. But anyways, I have one more honorable mention. Sterling.
Dumbasses.
Yes. You dumbasses. But anyway, I got one more honorable mention, Sterling.
Propane.
And I'm surprised you have not seen this one. Have you seen Argentina's answer to The Conjuring, but it's more fucked up, called Terrified?
I watched half of it.
Okay.
I turned it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I'll say about Terrified is the ghouls in Terrified are incredibly nightmarish.
They look cool.
What they do to people, I like how the ghouls actually kill people in brutal ways in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Characters say, "I'm going to die," and then they're immediately killed in brutal ways. There's a little bit of body horror in it, almost reminiscent of a Brian Yuzna film.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where a rotten corpse of a little boy in a glass of milk that's fucking hair-raising. But at the same time, this movie has so much script problems, you don't know who to root for.
Sure.
And at times you think, wait a minute, I thought I was following one character, and all of a sudden you're following another character, and they don't give any explanation as to what happened to the previous character.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I put it on my honorable mentions because of all the actual scary scenes. So,
Sure.
Also, I want to throw in, this was also a really good year for TV series.
Sure.
Haunting of Hill House, I heard, was really fantastic, although I haven't watched it. I just don't have the time, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're really long episodes.
Yes, they're really fucking long episodes. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is really fun.
I really
and
want to get into that.
It's pulpy. It's very pulpy. And, I kind of love it. And the main character Sabrina is so likable that you root for her every single episode.
I'm a big fan of her. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I was a fan of her on Mad Men.
Yes.
I'm a fan of her in most things that she's done. She was the only thing about Blackcoat's Daughter I liked. Because that movie had some problems.
I know, so.
But I think, she's likable in everything.
I've
she
only
does.
watched the first 3 episodes, but they're so much
I've
fun.
become a big fan also of Ross Lynch.
Yes.
I think he's great. My Friend Dahmer didn't make my list, obviously.
Yes. For last year, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, for what it's worth, he made that movie. I like seeing them kind of as like a duo.
Yep.
I can picture them really working off each other.
It's a fun show. It's a very Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a fun pulpy horror show.
Yeah.
And third, the TV show that blew me away was the 4th season of Channel Zero called Dream Door.
Okay.
It was really fucking good because it deals with people able to conjure up their imaginary friends. And in this case, one fully grown woman's imaginary friend happens to be a contortionist clown that kills people that upsets her in brutal ways with a screwdriver. The clown itself is fucking terrifying. Might have said the clown is named Pretzel Jack. He's terrifying, but somehow lovable at the same time, and he's extremely brutal in his death scenes. All the while, the whole thing has a message about mental trauma. All seasons of Channel Zero have a message about mental trauma and mental health. But just honestly, I liked Michael Myers. I liked the Cheddar Goblin this year. Pretzel Jack is probably my favorite monster of 2018.
Sure.
So yeah, Channel Zero Dream Store. And we didn't see this. The show just premiered last week since we're recording this on December 11th, folks. But we watched the trailer for Adult Swim's The Shivering Truth.
Yeah.
And it looks like a nightmare. It's a stop-motion nightmare, and we're both very excited for it.
I'm so excited to see that now. I just saw
how
it
would you
because of
describe
James.
that trailer?
It's like if they took that Satan scene in that Mark Twain video that we've always seen.
Yes, on the
but
internet.
Expanded it into its own anthology series.
Anthology series,
It's a kind of a dream to see this happening.
Yeah.
You can only imagine how long this took to make.
Oh, I know. With every episode being stop motion.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Shivering Truth looks wow, guys. Check that out.
I'll be watching that.
And that's actually on adultswim.com as we speak. So they premiered it just 2 days ago. Anyway, guys, so we're going to try to keep this one really quick. We don't want to spend too much time spewing venom and hate, but we're going to get to our disappointments of the year. I want to get to mine first because I'm not going to spew as much venom as Sterling is.
Yeah.
So my biggest disappointments of the year were Strangers Pray at Night, the worst final girl I've ever seen in a slasher film.
Why so?
She's annoying.
Okay.
She doesn't care about her family. She only cares about herself, which is weird for a final girl.
Yeah.
Yes, she only cares about herself. Every character deserves to live but her, and somehow she lives.
Does she start like this and end like this, or does she grow to be like this?
No, she stays like this the entire film.
There's no development for her.
There's no development in this film.
That's a terrible script right there.
Also, the pool sequence in the film is really good, but the other family members you like, but there's no character development with them whatsoever. And then when the three invaders come, they kind of come too late, and there's no build up with the death scenes like the first film.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Bad movie. A second major disappointment is this was billed as Rotten Tomatoes' favorite horror movie of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it was billed as a Lovecraftian nightmare and then when I watched it, it wasn't Lovecraftian hardly at all. This was The Endless. The Endless was more like a contrived Twilight Zone episode with bad acting.
With no budget.
With no budget and bad acting.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with you, Rotten Tomatoes?
That was
seriously.
Awful. Well, you know, Rotten Tomatoes is its own thing.
I know,
Yeah.
but still, that was better
The
than
real thing
Hereditary
is,
and Mandy.
What the fuck, critics all over the world for I don't know, like this is like I was so bored.
It's fucking boring.
It took me 2 tries to get through the whole movie.
It's not. Annihilation has better Lovecraftian tropes than The Endless.
Annihilation has better Lovecraftian tropes than most Lovecraftian movies.
Yes, it is.
You know, but yeah, The Endless. Yeah, you already touched on this, but really quick, just want to say, directors of Endless, never cast yourselves again in your own movie. Ever.
Okay.
Like, you guys are, you know...
You guys did a bang-up job with Spring and Resolution.
No, you can direct one hell of a movie, but not just because of their obvious talents not being there to carry a film, especially considering you have them teleporting into scenes.
Yeah.
And then going, where were you? I've been looking for you. Like, wait, are you not surprised that you just teleported?
Yeah.
But yet you're just angry that you took so long to find your brother?
Yeah.
Like, but the main problem is that it just felt like a fucking narcissistic move.
It did.
Don't cast unless you write the film for yourself in mind, like Buffalo 66 or Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Don't cast yourself when you don't have to. Yeah. You know? Anyway,
third disappointment of the year, The Predator. wow, felt like an MTV. The editing was the worst part of that film.
Sure.
The editing felt like an MTV music video director was high on cocaine and decided to edit a Predator film. All the while, it treats autism like it's a superpower when honestly that's fucking insultive.
Yeah.
It's very insultive. Oh, but they're super good at one thing. Fuck you, okay? All the while, Olivia Munn is like awful. The main character is an absolute cliche dud. It's like, oh look, he's a hard dad. And it's like, oh, fuck off. The only thing I liked about the Predator was the cool, quick anime style death scenes.
Sure.
It felt like an anime, the death scenes, and the dialogue banter between Thomas Jane and the comedian Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Keegan Kay. Yeah, it's like the banter between those two, that was like, they could have carried the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Plus, I was happy to see Thomas Jane in a big film.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, I was happy. I was happy for that. Other than that, The Predator is a contrived, poorly edited piece of shit.
It's crap.
It's crap. It's utter crap. So.
And really quickly, I don't care about spoiling this movie at all.
Yeah.
It's worth spoiling so you don't watch it. But that ending with the giant box with the Predator killer in it.
Yes.
And then only a tiny fraction, a shoebox size of it is used.
Yes.
And it's a fucking Iron Man suit.
Yes.
Shane Black is stuck in Marvel land.
Yes, he is.
He had to do I'm obviously this movie's not having a sequel.
No.
It's canceled. We're not going to see this stupid suit in action.
Yes.
But Shane Black pulled an Iron Man to that kiss Marvel's ass or something.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Now, before we get to your disappointments, my worst film of the year.
Are we doing worst next?
Yes. Disappointments and then worse. I'm sorry. I cannot skip this podcast without talking about how much I fucking hated Goosebumps 2: A Haunted Halloween. I'm sorry. We were promised Horrorland, and then Sony fucked the original filmmakers, and then we got basically a bad ABC Family TV movie version of a Goosebumps film.
Which is still playing in theaters.
Which is mind-boggling. The acting's bad. The storyline's bad. The bad half-assed heartfelt moments feel like a bad TV movie. All the cool scenes with the Halloween monsters are rushed and they don't feel overused. I cannot say more bad things about this. You think a Halloween movie, you think Goosebumps on Halloween and Halloween decorations turning to life and attacking people would be right up my alley?
Yeah.
That sounds like my dream come true since I love Goosebumps and Halloween, and instead they made a shitfest.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is this? This should have been made. This should have been made for ABC Family on a Saturday night as a TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh my god. So yeah, the Sony really fucked the potential for a great sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, worst movie of the year. Sterling, you take it away with your disappointments and your worst, and then we can do some plugs. So
all right.
Because our listeners have been staying with us for 3 hours now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we gotta hurry it up. I'm sorry, folks. We're sorry.
Okay. My number one most disappointing movie of the year was Gareth
Evans, is that his name?
Is it Evans or Edwards? No,
I
Edwards
always
is
get-
Godzilla.
Yeah, I thought Gareth Evans was... I don't know, we always get confused between those ones.
Thanks for the save. Gareth Evans, Apostle. I was so excited for the Raid 3 until he announced he canceled it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this movie came out on Netflix. I'm like, cool. And I watched it, and it was a period...
Okay.
It was a period...
Before I start you, great shots, though.
No, it was filmed great.
shots.
It's filmed
great
great.
shots.
No, it's acted great, too.
Yeah.
This is a period piece that looks great, and nothing happens. Basically, there's stuff that happens
up until a character goes from concerned dad to complete monster.
Basically, you have to wait out a lot of nothing to get to a really pissed off dad, and a couple cool scenes happen, a couple cool deaths, but I shouldn't be wading through a boring, overlong movie for cool scenes to happen, surrounded by more boring nothingness. You know, the ending could have been cool, but it wasn't. It didn't do justice to much, and it showed that I think Evans might be kind of a boring director. You know, yeah, his fight scenes can be cool, but this film tries to do some raid fight scenes, but it's not martial arts, it's street fighting. You know, they're cutting each other with glass instead of being graceful and doing the dance. It's a bomb. My next most disappointing, just going to say it right now, again, The Endless. It was on my list too. Wasn't anything of what I was expecting.
No.
And
that's a film where the hype killed it.
oh yeah,
Yes, very much so.
I would even
and
say
you can thank Rotten Tomatoes for creating that hype.
even if the hype wasn't there, it would have still been lukewarm at best.
Yeah.
You know, again, nothing happens in that movie. Okay, next, the next film I was super disappointed about. Now, this film came out way earlier this year on VOD, after being slightly delayed for American release. I kind of get it now. I've been waiting for the sequel for a long time. I didn't even know they were going to make one. Meatball Machine Kodaku came out.
I've never even seen any of those films.
Yeah, the first one is cool. You know, it's a cool. It's like a kaiju movie, but the kaijus are human size.
Okay.
You know, I don't mind that. It was cool. This movie came out, and Sharknado has a bigger budget.
Wow. Wow.
This is one of the schlockiest remakes I've ever seen. It had no right to be this bad, because they got the director of Tokyo Gore Police for it.
Oh my god. It just proves to show, folks. I know a lot of our best of horror movies were foreign, but even foreign countries can make shit.
This was supposed to be writing off B-movie fun. It was boring. It was terrible. It was a little too sleazy at times. There's an overlong shot of a girl's breast bouncing as she rides on the back of a villain. And I can't deal with that. It was just it's unnecessary trying to please the male audience.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my three most disappointing.
And your worst, Sterling?
Well, kind of lied to you. My worst,
Don't
literally...
tell me you hate Mandy.
No.
Okay, all right, good. To make sure.
My worst of the year.
Yeah.
Which I told you one of them. Yeah. I have a tie.
Really?
I realize I have a tie. Okay.
You can't decide on which one you hate more.
So first off, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life was Slender Man. This is literally...
nobody saw Slender Man, and you saw it.
This is literally... I went to the cheap seats for it.
Okay.
I paid $4 to see this movie. I was ripped off. Okay. I want those $4 back.
Didn't you say Letterboxd had the best review? The best horror movie of 2012 just happened to came out in 2018.
The most anticipated film of 2012.
Yes, because I don't get it. Slender Man's popularity peaked in 2012.
Yeah.
And then the movie finally comes out in 2018.
You could have released it all the way until 2014 and still made money.
Yes.
We're 6 years late, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Why was it bad?
Okay. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
It's story time.
Okay, it's story time.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Slender Man, half a star. Okay. Jesus Christ. This is everything wrong with a movie all at once. The acting is absolutely horrendous. Like, wow. How did the director think these takes would suffice for a final cut? It's the kind of bad that's not even bad enough to be good. This is garbage, not worth salvaging. Unfinished CGI looks utterly bad on a big screen. The script is non-existent. The first scene alone had me laughing at how terrible the dialogue is. Actually, not just the dialogue, but the delivery from the actors who don't know how to handle their material. I couldn't believe the movie was taking all this shit seriously. To make matters worse, they developed nothing. Not the characters, not the world, nor the lore of Slender Man. Basically, the movie starts with a girl on her phone taking a selfie as she goes, "We're gonna capture our souls." Just kidding. Like I had one. Almost like wait. So is this a murder movie or is this actually Slender Man's haunting people? And then 5 minutes in, they already go to the internet to summon Slender Man. They watch a terrible collage video of grass and trees, and then after it, they're all traumatized. And then they go to school the next day going like, I had nightmares. They had nightmares. Yeah, it's that video. And then,
just trying to be the fucking Ring.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, Slender Man starts appearing and terrorizing them. It's the stupidest nightmare logic I've ever seen. There's one scene with Joey King By the way, her mom should be arrested because having her daughter in this movie was child abuse. Anyway, Joey King is in the library of a school, He's looking for a book, and all of a sudden the lights go out, and then her face turns into Slender Man's blank face, but she can't see, and she's like,
that sounds fucking stupid.
But it's like one shot, one high angle as you just watch her like wiggling around. I'm like, did they have one camera? And then eventually the lights go on, her face is normal, and there's like a librarian going, are you okay? Like, he's watching. It's like, this is, and then the scene cuts. It cuts to someone else having a bad time, and then it cuts to someone else having a bad time. And it's a movie where they're trying to be scary, but they don't know how to be scary.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sony directed this movie.
Yes.
This wasn't the work of a director.
No.
It can't be. This is by a too old executive who hates kids. Anyway,
your second worst film of the year.
Okay, this one, oh, God. I understand why they dumped this movie.
Okay.
I understand it. This is a movie that had every right to be good. This had the coolest synopsis of any movie I saw all year. I thought it was going to be the best ghost movie I would see all year.
Okay.
But A24 dumped this straight to VOD on Amazon Prime because they knew last minute this isn't going to make money.
Is this Slice?
Slice.
Oh, I heard how bad Slice was.
Slice.
And it stars Chance the Rapper. What the hell?
Chance the Rapper tries to carry a movie. Joke. And you have this cool suburb that's, the residents are ghosts and stuff. The first half of the movie is really cool. You see ghosts in the background of shots just standing there as they're having conversation with, the living people are just doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
There just happens to be ghosts in the background. It's kind of like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Until you realize there's no plot. Nothing happens. It's just, they waste one of the coolest ideas on nothing. Chance and Zazie Beetz are just there. And they end up going more so with a mystery caper trying to solve a ghost's life crisis.
What?
While Paul Scheer is Chance's boss trying to make him go to work instead. It's trying to be like a ghostly Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, dear God.
Without the majesty of what Napoleon Dynamite did right, which was not give a fuck.
Yes.
This movie is self-conscious and aware of how bad it is. It's trying to save itself while it's playing.
Oh, no.
It is so bad. So, yeah, those two movies, although Slender Man, I'll say, is one of the worst I've seen in my life, A24's Slice is the worst ghost movie I've ever seen in my life. Combined, I can't pick a winner.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's our disappointments and our worst of the year, folks. Do we have any plugs before we lead it? And for everybody who's been staying with us for nearly 3 hours and something minutes, thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys write down an entire list of films you need to check out after this podcast.
Yeah, we want this to be an educational basis, and
Yes,
for you to, I guess, expand your watch list in case
There were some
you're
cool
not
movies you missed.
Yeah, if you're not ready to start next year's planning, just remember there's some great gems this year you might have missed.
yeah.
You can make up for it right now.
Sterling's
and have a great
going to
time.
check out Satan's Slaves and Extremity. I'm going to check out A Day and The Guilty. So
Yeah.
fuck yeah. So
Yeah, this will be some great stuff. Thank you for your recommendations, James.
Thank you. Any other plugs we want to do? Any plugs or not?
I guess the only one would be Horrible Imaginings Film Festival is accepting films.
Yeah, they're accepting submissions, guys. Send them,
Yeah.
Send them via Film Freeway.
Yes, exclusively through Film Freeway Gold, which we are now on.
Oh.
And remember, we are officially on. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, we're like the top 30.
Movie Maker Magazine's top 30 genre film festivals in the world.
We're in the same list as Beyond Fest.
Beyond Fest.
Beyond Fest, folks. We're next to Beyond Fest.
Same as Beyond Fest. We're with Fantasia. We're with
Fantastic Fest,
Film
in Texas,
Quest, Boston
oh, my
Underground.
Lord.
Wow, it's almost like it's honestly.
If Miguel listens to this, again, thank you for making me and Sterling part of the festival.
Oh yeah,
and I think I'd like to call Horrible Imaginings the little film festival that could. It's getting there, and it's getting there, and it's getting there. So
As of right now, just being on this list, you could we're so close to saying the little festival that did. You
yes.
know? And so that's my main plug. Just send us your films.
All right. I don't have any plugs. Just I hope you guys had a good time listening. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are you sure you don't want to invite everyone to your New Year's party and dox yourself?
No, not absolutely. Me and my wife's apartment is too tiny, so please,
Okay.
please. Okay.
Also, want to give a big shout out to a friend we've been mentioning a lot. Want to give a big shout out to Doug.
My best friend, Doug.
That you don't try to murder me in my sleep for not thinking Hereditary was worth my top 5. Just remember, I did like it.
Okay. Yes.
So, and I really hope to meet your dog. Anyway.
Yes. Sterling's been wanting to meet your dog for a while now, Doug.
So until then, I'm done.
All right. I am James J. Coker. Thank you for listening to one long-ass episode about 2018 horror movies.
I am Sterling the Spork Guy, and I really hope that you enjoyed this, and we'll come back next time.
All right. Bye, guys.